Beautiful.
Very nice.
Nice.
That's cool. I
Beautiful,
like that.
nice, cool. Lots of great adjectives over at Woke.
Very sick, tight, and nice.
That is nice.
But primarily-
neat, tight, chill, and dope.
Cool. Sick. Oh, man. Oh, God. Everything hurts, man. Everything just hurts. I think that's just kind of where I'm at.
Like physically, or just
Yeah, I'm
what's
just
happening?
like, I can't feel comfortable at any angle because my body is sore from existence. Yeah.
You said you just started working out. What have you been doing? Mostly,
I've been doing the same thing that Connor's been doing, which is I just
Eating a
kind of
lot of
walk
fast
around.
food?
Yeah, no, I just kind of walk around with my shirt off. And that's just, I get, I just fucking get shredded. No,
I burn a lot of calories.
no, he sent me this 20-minute fucking workout thing, and it sucks, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20
It's
minutes,
brutal.
but it's like, Tony, I want you to do it.
Okay.
You should do it. Like one day when you're like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to push the sled. I'm going to do incline bench press. Like just do that, the 20-minute workout thing, and see if you can do it without stopping, without cheating at all. And then you tell me.
Can you
how
tell me
hard
like what it entails?
I almost
just-
got it memorized. It basically starts with like jumping jacks, then steam engines, then you go to like fucking jump
Burpees.
ropes, then you go to burpees, then you go to Supermans, which is like you're laying on your stomach and you're doing reverse crunches almost. Then
Into
you
planks.
do planks. Then it's a 30-second rest, and then it's like another regimen of something similar, but not burpees. The first round is really hard. The middle two. So it's like 4 chunks. It's like the first 5 minutes is a chunk, then there's 30 seconds, and there's 2 easier chunks in the middle, and then the last one is like hard because it literally makes you go like jumping jacks to mountain climbers to left side plank to right side plank to laying to sitting on your ass and then doing this over and over again with no weight. Just it's like impossible by that time.
Yeah.
And then high kicks, like flutter kicks while you're laying on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
And-
dude.
And then more jumping jacks, more jumping rope, and then
it ends with
squats.
Which is fucked.
Jeez.
The squats
Yeah.
suck.
No, that
Yeah,
sounds
they
hard.
won't.
The whole thing
mean, you'll
is
probably
hard
be
because it's
fine,
20
but
minutes and
it'll
it's
be
like
really
a
rough.
total of 2 minutes of rest. So it's like 20 minutes of straight calisthenics with a total of 2 minutes of rest and 30-second intervals every 5 minutes.
I've done something not quite as intense, but similar to when I was working out with Dookie Shoes and Monkey Mike. They would do like we'd rotate,
Just like
we'd rotate and do like pull-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, jump rope, planks, rolling out with the rolly wheel thing, and I think like 1 or 2 other
Monkey
things.
Mike, I'm sorry.
But we just
Yeah, I'm
rotate that and do
I'm
5
still
rounds of
stuck
that.
on how casually he says Monkey Mike and shoes or whatever the fuck he says.
Dookie Shoes.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. I just had to,
My bad.
bounce back from Monkey Mike, and you're going to have to
Yeah.
start from the top.
No person on earth should be called Monkey Mike, even if they are a monkey. Like
Well,
a
it
monkey
was
should
really-
be called that.
To be honest, like it's because his name was Money Mike on like that was his Xbox Live name, so I just called him Monkey Mike because you just add the K.
Of course. Yeah, you just got to add
It's
a
really
K to
clever,
it.
Tony.
Yeah, just toss
You should go by the local elementary school and see how well that one does. That story. Like, hey, get down
just
from there. I
having a
want to tell you
round
something.
table of children, just be like, and so
Just
his
wait
name
at the
was
bottom of
Money
the slide.
Mike, but I
just be like, wait,
added a
stop.
K.
Right. Stop. Don't go to the monkey bars because it's kind of actually now you mention that.
Actually,
there's a
Mike, you
certain
should go
age-
over there. We'll call you Monkey Mike. Yeah, how
I
about
feel like
you?
there's a certain age that would find that funny, and then like there's a cutoff that wouldn't, and then there's another gap in there that would find it funny. It's kind of like
it's called head trauma.
generational thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but now if you just see the thing
It's a
about it is
generational thing.
if you took the Y away, then everyone would think it's hilarious in our age range. Monk Mike.
Monk.
Right.
Monk. Yeah, I like that
Monk
actually a little
Mike.
bit better. Monk Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
He is bald like a monk, so there's that.
Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Wrapped it up perfectly. Beautiful.
Oh god.
Just right there.
But
I hate Sundays, man. You can't get away from fucking Sundays sucking ass.
Yeah.
Isn't there just such an inherent depression in the day when you work?
Yep. Because it's like, well, I guess I
sucks.
fucking better get used to working again by working on other things.
Bro, a Sunday will make you rethink your whole life. Like things you could have done better in life.
Yeah.
You'd be like, man, I really don't. Like all of my harshest realizations, I think, come on Sundays where I'm like, God damn it, man. I'm gonna make this a better week. Like that type of shit.
It's the Lord's Day. Oh
If
man. I didn't eat.
If they moved to 4-day work weeks, I would want it to be that we had Mondays off, you know? So that way we can keep the sanctity of Friday.
Yes,
You still
actually,
look forward to
fully
those.
agree. Yep.
Yeah.
No more Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Thursday already
Actually,
feels like
that's
Friday.
It should be.
Exactly, yes.
It should be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Period. Why do we have Fridays and Mondays?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Because
They want us to toil.
the capital.
They worship the dollar. They want us to toil.
The dollar.
You just worship the dollar. going into like JP Morgan Chase and just be like, this is a church. But instead you worship the dollar. And they're like, yeah, do you have a security badge? It's like you worship symbols like a security badge. Or a legal localized age of consent. You worship these things, these rules.
These rules you've created.
You're obsessed with these rules. Like taxes and the dollar and the age of consent. You care about these so much. Just like sneaking that one in there at the end.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
What about
Get the fuck out. We have more of them.
Right.
That's the person I want to be.
Have either of you guys seen either of the new, or maybe it's all 3 now, episodes of the new season of Rick and Morty?
I have.
There's 3 of them?
I think so. Or maybe 4 at this point.
Well, first of all, hold on. Before
I've
we
seen
get
5
into
of them.
before we get into that,
Seen unreleased shit.
Tony, like, what happened last week? How was your weekend? What happened? We gotta start with that. I mean, the folks are dying to know what's going on with Town Balone.
I just went home, went on a float trip. It stormed violently both nights, but during the day it was chill. I literally,
Some Vietnam
no one else
shit.
brought their phone on the actual float, and so I had to DJ, and I had 13 albums on there, which were like Eternal Take, A Whole Lot of Red, and then like 9 metal albums. So didn't realize, like, if I had known that, I would have downloaded like 40 albums. But they're like, hey, bring your phone. No one else has anything no one has any music downloaded. And I was like, okay, well, that's.
What kind of hick ass shit is this? Like,
What else did I have? I think I had one other thing.
put it in a
I
fucking
had
Ziploc
a
bag.
Strokes album. I was like, oh, I downloaded this. So that was actually nice because that's good float music, you know. Their first album. I think it's their first
Great
one.
album.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's definitely their first album. Yeah, like every song, like the riff just starts and you're like, oh, wow, it's a good riff.
Yeah, the Strokes rule,
Good
man.
catchy riff.
Anyone who
Good
doesn't like the
riff.
Strokes, I'm sorry. You're a little bitch. Sorry. They're just
They
good.
just are
Just
good.
stop being stupid.
They're
Don't
cool
care how
kid
popular
music.
they are and just admit they're good. Sorry. They're good no matter how cool you think you are. Yeah.
They just have hits, man. They just have them. They're there.
They just provide a
poop them out.
vibe. It's very consumable and enjoyable. And
Vibrational. Just makes you
Without
want to have
names.
it feels like you're in a, like a booze commercial. It's like you're in a seltzer commercial when you're listening to the Strokes.
yeah, that's exactly it. It's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
You're in the Kendall Jenner Pepsi police brutality commercial when you hear that. Someday. Isn't that what that song is? Someday. or
exactly.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, or you're just like, or you're like in a pharmaceutical commercial where they're listing all of the worst things that could possibly happen to you.
Right. There's a great song they have that's just New York City cops, New York City cops, and they're like, the line is like, they're not that great, or something like, they're not so great, or not so bright, or something. Hold on.
See, I haven't dug deep into their discog. I've only heard the first 2 albums. I think.
I love.
I mean, those are the ones, pretty much.
Right. Okay.
Those are the move.
Kind of like with the.
I mean, all of them are good, dude. The one from 2013 is good. Room on Fire, fucking 2299 or whatever. I don't even remember.
I'm not versed well enough to know if they're all good, but I can't imagine any of them are particularly going to ever be bad.
Yeah, it's New York City Cops times 3, but they ain't too smart. New York City Cops times 3, but they ain't too smart. But they ain't too smart is quite an understatement, Julian. They are a racist Gestapo goose-stepping squadron of genocidists. And dogs that carry out a genocide in plain sight every day. No, not the Strokes, Tony. Come on, man. You gotta.
No, I'm just kidding. I know.
You gotta understand what the object of the sentence is. All right.
No, I'm aware. I just thought it would be a little good.
Hey, Tony, shut the fuck up real quick. Matter of fact.
Yeah. Why?
I forgot something.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
I gotta get to
My
it.
bad.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was getting. Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
You gonna ask what I forgot?
No.
Okay. Well, guess what?
Wait, you guys talking?
Huh? No.
Huh?
I forgot to introduce the goddamn podcast.
Oh. Yeah,
wait,
I gotta
I-
do that.
Okay.
I gotta do boom again later because that's the wrong thing. That's not what I do.
Boom.
No. Yeah. You put a. Yeah.
It's
do
a
it.
different thing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Halo sound effect.
It is, ladies and gentlemen, and in-betweens, my non-binary fam, my intersex fam, all y'all. What the fuck is up? Welcome. It is Monday, July 18th, 2021. I'd like to humbly embrace you and welcome you to another episode of Woke and Boke. Boom. That's what I meant. That's
Right.
the one. Episode 94 to be exact. Just to get some clarification, if you guys don't quite understand what the name means, it's literally just a different vowel on the phrase wake and bake. That happens to have woke in it. And we were high and came up with that and thought that was funny. Just letting you know. Like I said, episode 94 to be exact. I am your host. You may know me from the internet. If you are showing up for the first time, welcome. This is something I do with my good friends, and I very much enjoy it, and it's the thing I like to do most. So if you want to support it, that would be doing the best thing you could possibly do as a supporter or viewer or audience member or just dick sucker of mine. Supporting this would be very meaningful to me. And I'm always joined, like I said, by my best friends from the great Gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. We have Max Sansa on the show today. Max, you're looking
Sax.
good, man. I like the mustache. How are you?
Thanks, dude.
Looking
I'm
tight.
good. I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. I
You
fucking
little
I'm just
blizzed?
little blizzard, little blizzard,
Little chuzzard.
little chuzz busted.
Chuzzy
You know, just
Wuzzy.
kind of hanging out. I was activating night mode on the Wikipedia.
Ooh.
So it
When they
didn't
could do that.
just
Nice.
do that. How are you? How's everyone? Hi. Thanks for having me.
Shut up.
Okay.
And we
Go die.
and the man with
wanna die.
also joining us is the man with the most recent haircut out of the three of us.
Correct.
And the most recently birthed out of the three of us.
Huh? Indeed.
Give a warm happy birthday, belated happy birthday to Tony Harrop, ladies and gentlemen.
Oi.
Tony, how are you, mate? How you doing? What you
Doing
watching?
well.
What you doing? What you watching?
All doing well goats and just
Okay.
watching one of the top 5 watch while you're tripping movies. I would say
It was just funny. This is Phantom Menace has been on my TV for like maybe 9 days straight. I've thrown it on the TV at least once behind me because it's just absolutely perfect to have on behind you for some reason. Because it's a great movie to just see on. And they got to that part that you were just at where Boss Nass, like they go to the council of Boss Nass. And I'm like looking at how many bubbles are in the room and like how everyone's shaped and then the bubbles outside of the room and the bubbles around them. And I'm just like, this shit looks like when you're on acid, you just can't really make anything out. And I'm like, oh, that's right. We watched this on acid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Which I'll censor the word acid, but
Me and my,
you know.
Yeah, never mind.
What?
No, I was going to say, me and my boy watched Miami Vice on mushrooms a couple weeks back. And that was something. That was funny. Because that movie is just Michael Mann shit. It's just like, we're just like watching this hyper stylized, just Colin, which one?
Firth.
Colin Firth. Yeah, no, Colin, it's not Firth.
Farrell.
Farrell, that's the one. Just a pile of cocaine. Just driving boats and shit everywhere. And I'm just like just smoking weed the whole time, just like super stylized, like 80s, 90s, like fucking blues and fucking just teals and shit. Miami Vice.
Oh, okay, Miami Vice.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was awesome.
The show, right?
The movie.
Oh, it was a show too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was originally a show in the 80s. I'm glad I've stayed away from the nose beers personally.
Yeah.
I have not done it in many a month. Many months.
Many moons.
But yeah, anyways, we're still at the intro of the show. I forget.
Oh, yeah.
Every week we get together, catch up on the latest in shit like this, video games, movies we've watched, whatever. We're just good friends. I call it a friendship podcast, genre-wise. It's based on a friendship, you know? And that's what it's about. It's about being friends and memories. That's what I like to think Welcome Boke is about primarily. And so, yeah, we talk about that, current events, movies, music, manga, comic books, action figures, jerking off, whatever you want.
Jerking off to action figures.
Right. Nutting on a nut tribute on an action figure. Listen, if you want to hear the audio version of this, you can subscribe to us or you can follow us rather on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. And also, if you're listening, would really appreciate it, even if you don't watch, if you subscribe to us on YouTube. That is where we're trying to just build more eyeballs because we upload full hour-long edited podcast episodes there every week. So it'd be cool if people saw it. And also, you can join our Discord, which there's a link to that in the description. It may be out of date. I don't get it. Discord will produce a link. It says it never expires ever, and then you just put it somewhere, and then in a week it expires. So it's like, which fucking one is it? Like, what? I mean, I get that it might have to expire after a while, but why are you calling it never? Why not just call it 70 hours or something like that? Any what's it? You can join our Discord. There's cool people in there. We don't have mods yet. We will soon. I was kind of learned that having mods is good because they can like kind of build shit out on their own. I just have no idea the capabilities of Discord. I literally just thought it was a place where people just talk. But you can do a lot of shit with it apparently. So I'm going to, get on that. And yeah, do all that shit so you don't miss a single episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at WokenBokePod. That is WOKENBOKE POD. On Twitter and Instagram, it's the same thing, but podcast at Woken Boke Podcast. And you will get updates on the podcast every week. We post clips there. And reach out to our Gmail, Woken Boke Podcast, same as the Instagram, at gmail.com with your questions, comments, and suggestions, and we will read them on the show. And links to all these are listed in the show description. But yeah, back to what we were kind of talking about. Phantom Menace is a trippy-ass movie.
Oh, yeah.
Trippy-dippy. The whole prequel trilogy, I would say,
I'll be right back.
Probably the best to watch whilst tripping. The originals, sure, but just like a lot of the aesthetics of what they were doing in the the prequel trilogy, like like the different environs that they went to.
Biomes.
Like I haven't seen Attack of the Clones in such a state, but like when they go to Camino, get neck from a Camino,
right?
Or Kaminoan.
Right. Oh, we already talked about that on the pod, right?
That was like an old podcast episode.
I think one that was the name
from a Kaminoan.
Yeah. I mean, that would be sick, right?
Getting deep-throated by a Kaminoan.
Getting throat. Mm-hmm. Listen, we like getting throated out here on Woken Boke, right? Where did Max go again? I'm so high, I didn't even realize he just left.
I get so high, I can't. What's that one song?
What?
I get so high, it's like I can't feel nothing. Is that what by Cardi?
No.
Oh, Sky. That's it. Oh, I'm a fall out of the sky. Like I can't feel. I don't know.
I don't even remember that one, to be quite frank.
It's a long album, but when I was on that flow trip and I only had like 3 non-metal albums.
Sky by. Oh, I thought you meant Cardi B.
No,
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you remember that Cardi B, that deep cut on the Cardi B?
That one?
Yeah.
I told my boy go roll like 10 blunts from me.
Yeah.
I'm getting high and I ain't doing nothing.
I was surprised. I was like, you don't remember that one?
I think he says, I'm getting high until I can't feel nothing. Or something like that.
Yeah. Man, I mean, but it was great to have that album because I could really kind of just, roll it through a few times. It was like 6 hours,
Right.
I had this really trippy instrumental metal band that was actually dope to listen to. It was like super cloudy and it like started drizzling and they were just doing like this really trippy like slower part and it was like, damn, this would be wild if you were just like on mushrooms and just like floating down the center of this river where it was like it looked like the fucking I don't know what's that like The Witch, that movie, like that vibe,
like the Revenant vibes,
or something. Alas.
So did you guys camp or where'd you sleep?
In tents.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a campsite and it's nearby the bus stop that you take to the front of the float and then you float down the river for like.
And water didn't get in your tent or anything like that?
No.
Nice. Okay.
Like we
found a higher up spot a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would all run past us. But yeah, it rained pretty fucking hard though for a bit.
It's crazy.
Put up some some tarps and some like, what do you call them? Like those things that you see at tailgates where they're like the 4 poles and like a, what do you call it? Canopy? Yeah.
Canopy.
Put a few of those together and made a nice little like fort. Just chilled under there and smoked while it was, it was like fucking
I love that.
blasting rain like sideways for a second, but it was crazy.
Yo, that rain is like sick. Dude, I was on the way back from McDonald's. I took a 20-minute walk to the McDonald's here. Yeah. Which I need to just really change that. I have not stopped eating fast food since this quarantine fucking started.
Dude, I learned like yesterday that McDonald's is the one that will really just fuck me up.
Right.
Like, not for no other reason. Like, because I usually get the same amount of food generally everywhere that I go. Like, just because that's how fast food works. But it's like, when I go to McDonald's, I feel like I'm going to die. Like, it hurts me. It's like Taco Bell, a little bit, not so much. Then like,
it's always been Whitey's for
Cane's, me. But that's because it's a shitload.
Remember that time when I went over to your house and I probably ate 15 White Castle sliders?
Which time?
Like when we were young, when we first had access to like a car and going to these places.
Yeah, because that was fucked.
And
I
just
like car in the Midwest.
I was just like farting for like 8 hours while I slept, and I literally made like the couch smell like literally like shit. Like White
my
Castle
mom was like,
sliders.
Take that blanket with you. She was like, take that shit home.
I was like, that was so disgusting to me that like permanently imprinted like a revulsion to White Castle, even though I still eat it.
Oh yeah.
But
dude, I went to Burger King, got the new
look, they're on the ship at the same time. Or they were. Never mind.
Damn,
sorry. Go ahead. You got the king at Burger King.
I got the chicken, the spicy chicken. And it was actually
Why do you call it this shit? Why do you call it this shit? Just be like, I got the new chicken sandwich.
No, it's called chicken. Like
I get what
it's at Burger King, so it's called the Chick King. I got the
You're
spicy
missing the
one.
point.
Oh, that's why they call it the Chick King. Gotcha.
Yeah, because it's at Burger King.
Because
it's
Burger
like
King.
sort of play on the title of the restaurant.
Gotcha.
They call it the Chick King.
Yeah, for sure. It's a Burger King.
I got the spicy one.
It's a play. It's a play on chicken and king.
Yeah, a combination
chicken and Burger King.
of the two.
Really fucking smart, dude.
Anyways, it was really good. It was about as good as the Popeyes one, which was also pretty four.
There's no way in
I
fucking
still haven't had that
Hellas
one, actually.
No?
There's no way the fucking Burger King one's that good.
It was a fucking fat ass slab of chicken.
I've heard it's good, but there's no way. There's
so
no
you go
way,
to bat
bro.
for the Popeyes.
There's
you really
no
like
way,
that one?
bro.
The Popeyes is definitely the best one.
I would agree.
I've tried them all. The Popeyes one, they just got a better bun situation. They never forget to have those just perfect fucking pickles.
Mm-hmm. This one had some good pickles.
And the chicken is fried perfectly. The sauce is great. It tastes like a real chicken sandwich. It tastes like a real burger, like a burger or barbecue
restaurant.
joint.
Yeah.
Like a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
I went to I want one of those. I went to Wendy's. So I kind of picked out this weekend. I went to Wendy's as well. Got like a bourbon bacon burger. That was pretty good. I usually won't go to McDonald's though.
It's wild that you said Wendy's because I tried to go to Wendy's last night, but the line was so fucked, and I ended up going to QT and getting a shitty cheese hot dog, which was awesome. Which was awesome.
I feel like if I would literally just eat a calorie deficit for 3 weeks, I would lose 40 pounds.
Yeah.
like the fact that my body doesn't put on more weight than it already does is like astounding to me.
No, you and I both underestimate how easily we put on muscle and like how easily we can lose weight. Like we have good metabolism. We
We're
just eat like dog shit.
But we don't like being competitive or athletic.
No.
Most of the time.
No.
I've never been like a competitive person, I don't think. Like I have been in a way, but like
when it comes to shit I want to do,
I'm like asynchronously competitive. Like I won't tell you I'm competing with you. You know what I mean? Like that shit.
Right. You don't care if they know.
No.
Yeah.
It's more of like for yourself.
Like
it's competition
with myself. There you go.
Yeah, it's not competition that's contingent on winning. It's competition that's contingent on just improving.
I don't feel a need to like over and over and over again display empirical evidence that I'm superior to someone or seemingly empirical by just beating them in something or whatever. Like there's people who are habitually like competitive, where they like you can stop. Like my boss, one of my bosses, is one of the most competitive people I've ever met in my entire life. And if you just challenge him to a ping pong game, he'll stop everything he's doing and he will play a ping pong game with you. And if you talk a little smack, if you lose, which you're going to lose because he's very good at it, he's already better than I am. He's way better than I am somehow. And I'm not bad at ping pong by any stretch. And this guy's in his 50s and he demolishes me. Like I barely get half score, like half the score he does.
That's the thing about ping pong, man, is if you just play aggressive, like people don't know what to do with that.
But if you play where every serve is a curveball, he's on that time. And I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Is he's just like, that's what I'm saying. Is if you find someone who like exceeds your ping pong aggression, you're just gonna lose.
Yeah,
and it's an aggressive game.
You can fuck someone's whole day up by being competitive. You can waste their whole night. Like I remember one time we went out for drinks as a team and we were on the Galaga machine and he and I must have sat there for 45 minutes going back and forth on Galaga because he was like, I can do better. I know I can do better. Dude's wasted, but he's still like, I can do better.
See, but like I'm, I got in really good shape, but it's not because I'm being competitive with anyone, and that's what, right. I mean, you want to do that, right? It's just like tight to be in really good shape.
No, absolutely. That's the thing that I've got to remind myself with it is just like, if I get in the habit of working out for 4 days, I get the benefits of my mind actually feeling like I'm doing something with my life. So,
it's kind of like a huge antidepressant.
Yeah. It's like it's an affirmative act.
It's not a solution, but it's an antidepressant. It blunts things.
Yeah. And I went home for my birthday. I ate so much shit. Like I had pizza, I had, cake pops. I had probably 20 fucking cookies, chocolate chip. I had fat ass breakfast burrito. I had, probably like 2 dozen, more like a dozen beers, bunch of Jello shots, s'mores, hot dogs, like way more than probably like triple what I normally eat in that span, like calorie wise. And I felt like shit. Like Monday, I couldn't stop shitting, and I had to like come home early and just work from home. But like, it's like, but it's like if you're in bad shape and you do that, you're just gonna be like, after that weekend, you're just gonna be like, damn, I'm even further from like, being healthy or anything like that. But for me, it was just like,
or conversely, you'd
physically,
be like,
I don't
damn,
notice
I'm
the
gonna do
difference.
that
Like
again.
once do what?
Or you'd be like, damn, I'm gonna do that again. That was tight.
And you keep doing it. But like, so I can basically afford, like, I eat very healthy, like 3 weeks out of the month, or a little bit more, but like usually like once a month or every other month I go home or I do something where I pig out for a weekend, but I just don't, but then I don't notice any like physical effects from that, because it's like eating healthy for a weekend isn't going to make you fit, and so eating like shit for a weekend isn't going to make you fat,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna fill up my water.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yo, get some water.
Man.
But yeah, that's just been my thing. It was just like, oh, cool. I'm doing something that I don't have to do. Good job.
What are you doing? What are you doing meal wise though?
I mean, nothing crazy. Just like not eating after, or trying not to eat after like 9, and really just like cutting back on snacks and just kind of sticking to 3 meals. And if I do snack, like fruit and stuff. I mean, I'm not like doing anything. I'm not doing like a diet regimen. I'm just like generally trying to keep an eye on my caloric intake. I'm still eating kind of semi like shit, but I'm injecting more fruits and veggies into shit here and there.
So yeah, I don't consider myself on a diet, but I guess from the outside it would look like that, because every morning I eat oatmeal with a banana in it and brown sugar, and every afternoon I eat chicken, rice, broccoli, carrots, and butternut squash that I roasted.
There you go.
And then every night I have a fucking protein shake.
There you go.
And during the week, that is. On the weekend, it's kind of like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like, and my other thing is I don't drink anything but water really. So, because I was also kind of like, before I started working out, like whenever Baja Blast season hits, man, I just like, fuck it, soda. Like, let's go.
You got to cut out the soda.
I know. And it's like, it's one of those, it's such a slippery slope for me. Because that was like my number one thing that, like, looking back at like middle school to high school, I'm like, why did I drink so much fucking soda, dude?
Right. It's not even that good.
No.
I mean, it's like,
you feel like shit when you drink it, because you like, even now, like I looked at the bottle of Baja Blast and it says 150% your daily sugar. And I'm like, just for this. So now it's like, when I would buy Baja Blast, I just get the bottles and crack it open and then just like drink it, a third of it a day, pretty much. Take shots of it, because that shit's so fucking potent.
Right. It tastes good as shit, but you don't need a whole fucking like 20 ounces of it or whatever.
Oh, no,
like,
dude. What's up? That's the tough part about Taco Bell, is I can't get Baja Blast at Taco Bell, because then you're just signing up for it.
You can't be drinking 20 ounces of soda a day, dude.
Bruh, I'm fucking...
Yeah, and...
Oh, that's the sugar-free, right?
Yeah, but...
I hate that flavor.
I know, I'm kind of into it now. I'm like, kind of like, ooh, I kind of like this shittier flavor. It's like bad.
I feel like they're like...
It's a little less thick than drinking the sugar one, because it's just the sugar one now. It's just like... It's thick, and I hate it.
It's gotta be terrible.
But those are terrible. I gotta stop drinking these drinks, period. I gotta drink tea or coffee. Like, I'm getting a pour over kit, so I'm gonna do coffee now. But it is like that sweet vibe that you want in the morning.
Yeah.
Let me get a little treat to start the day.
You guys drink Bang?
Yeah, exactly.
I do, but all their flavors are like hyper tropical pineapple mango, and it's
cotton candy burst.
Yeah, it's like, pumpkin pie, pussy.
I started with them when I was drinking these 0-cal energy drinks, but like, there's so many other better brands.
Rain, it's like vanilla chocolate, pussy, and it's like, no, I don't want this, man.
There's one called Ghost.
New one's good as shit.
There's Ghost Energy that has Sour Patch Kids flavors. which that fucked me up. I didn't have a full one, but Grady had one. I just took a shoot.
See, my priority is stop liking processed sugar.
Yeah,
and that still has that.
It's like fake. Well, yeah, I guess it.
Well, that's
it's not processed, dude. It's fake.
Well, that's the bitch about cutting sugar out, is because literally everything in American food has like way too much fucking sugar in it. Like, if there's anything I learned from going to Japan for fucking 3 weeks, it's that like it's just like borderline. Like every single snack, everything is just slightly blander. Like in the the processed shit is slightly blander, but you get used to it after a week and then you prefer it. And then all the regular food just doesn't have fucking sugar pumped into it. So it's just like when you get like a chicken patty that they have in the little case at the fucking gas station, it's like, oh, this is a really fatty like fucking chicken thigh that someone like fucking cooked and it's real food and shit.
Dude, the thing, like if you just look up the name of every one of your favorite cereals, it had the word sugar before the title in like the 50s. That's what's crazy. Like sugar frosted flakes. That's why it's called frosted flakes. Sugar frosted with sugar. Because it's literally frosted with sugar. I remember Mr. DeNoyer was like, yeah, I spent some time I forget how he talks, but he was like, yeah, I spent some time in Canada and coming home, it was just like, finally I can get normal food. I can get Wendy's if I need it. I can get this or that. He's like, you go to Canada and you're like, I want some food. And they're like, I have an apple.
They don't have fast food there? Like,
I don't think there's quite the same availability to like really fast, nasty ass food, but
I think the culture is just different because they definitely got Timmy Hortons up there, dude.
Literally across the Canadian border. Of that, I see a cup of coffee. What is it, like a Dunkin' Donuts? Is that
it's like their like donut coffee place.
Canadians are hella into jelly donuts too. Yeah, so that's like their fast food.
Dude, that was like the crowning achievement of my life. The second we crossed into Canada, I hit the first Tim Hortons I saw, and I took a shit in there.
I hate Dunkin' Donuts and breakfast donuts and coffee. This is get your breakfast fries, Sergeant. No, I want to eat lunch. Period. No breakfast anymore, unless I'm vibing and I feel like it. Dude, but like this thing where it's like, get a frosted jelly donut and some coffee this morning. It's like, no.
But I can't tell you like how many times getting a Dunkin'
crispy and hot.
A Dunkin' bagel sandwich on tour has like saved my life. Just come on.
I want to go to is a bakery where they have everything bagels that they toast and put cream cheese on. And they have good coffee and espresso.
And you live in New York.
That's all I care for.
You live in New York.
Yes, and I have done.
So you have very good options.
And I do that, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
No, when I'm driving through like bumfuck Iowa, and we're like, oh shit, there's a Dunkin' here. Let's go. Because we've been driving.
I would literally rather go to McDonald's for breakfast than Dunkin'.
There's a distinction. There's a distinction because remember, McDonald's makes you want to kill yourself.
Dunkin' not if you just rip a coffee and a hash brown. But also, that's not really breakfast.
That's not breakfast.
It's a bit of a snack.
But I need that McGriddle biddle.
I need the sandwich. If I'm getting breakfast somewhere, it's got to come in a
bread Back on the topic of fitness real quick, because I wanted to say something. Like a friend of mine has like terrible anxiety constantly. And they don't drink or smoke or do anything. And like every day they basically have to work out, because if they don't work out for like one day, like do some push-ups, get the heart rate up, something, like the anxiety just gets terrible. But it just makes it like not go away, but it makes it way more manageable doing that. And it's just like, I don't know, that's pretty cool. That you can do some things to make your life mentally a little bit better, you know? Like that should be the priority for everybody, literally. Should be well-being.
I'm to the point where like I feel bad if I skip a day, unless there's like a good reason. Like I skipped Friday because I took my coworker to the airport after work, and like after that, and
that was like a workout doing that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he pushes like on the gas. I'm holding my arms like this for a while.
See, with this video Max and I do, there's no excuse. You have 20 minutes. Do you have a yoga mat? You can get a crazy full body workout.
I'll do it today. We'll see how it goes. I should work out. I didn't work out Friday or yesterday. So
I don't have time to go do it before the thing today, so I might have to do it tonight or do it the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, no, if
I try to do it Monday through Thursday. That's what I try to do. If I do 3 days, I'm not going crazy. I'm not like, oh, you piece of shit. But I try to do all 4 days.
Yeah, I'm just doing one on,
my
one
ideal
off.
week. I like to think of it as like, this is what I do in my ideal week when I'm not like, when shit doesn't come up, when I've got plenty of time, when I'm don't have plans. Like, this is what I should do baseline when I'm not doing anything. Because like this thing of like finishing work and just being like, all right, what's the best way for me to waste my time right now? Like, you just like,
oh yeah,
it's not good for you to just waste time.
No,
all day. No, all afternoon.
Speaking of wasting time, I'm gonna get the fucking Steam Deck eventually, so I can optimally waste my time.
Oh, you're gonna get it?
Yeah, I want to. Eventually, it's basically just it's.
So here's a question for you, real quick.
I have the scoop. So if you got questions for me, in
the last 10 months, have bought a PS5 and a whole new gaming rig and a 4K monitor. Do you need a Steam Deck on top of that?
That's what I'm saying. Later.
Okay.
And to be
if
fair,
they drop it down to $250, maybe I'd get it, but it'll never be that price.
And to be fair, I fucking sold my Mac to buy this computer, so there's also that. But I did. Yes, I did. I did just get a bunch of gaming bullshit all at once.
So what you did then is you upgraded your computer.
Exactly. I upgraded my computer.
But to be fair,
it was a work expense.
I don't have two full desktop computers now. To be fair, all right.
To be fair, it didn't cost a lot, and I needed it for work. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's wild. It's just basically a big Nintendo Switch you can install Windows on it. It's literally a computer, basically. But you can also just run the Steam OS and just play literally any game on the Steam library on a portable thing. You can dock it to a monitor. And again, you can install Windows on it and use it as a computer. Just connect a keyboard and mouse.
Dock it to a monitor is pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so
you can do that.
play Halo mobile.
Yeah, for sure.
With it. Essentially.
Wow, you could play Halo anywhere, basically. Full res.
The only thing that's going to suck, I think, about it is the battery life. But if you tweak graphic settings because it gives you the full suite of graphic settings, so you can run it as high as you want or as low as you want. Are you
serious?
Yeah.
It can run that well?
I mean, it's probably gonna tank, the higher you take it, but it would just be more resource intensive. But from what it looks like, I think it was like a video of like Control on high graphic settings being played on it flawlessly at 60, I think. So it's a big boy though too. So it's like
it'll be interesting. Controllers to it, I wonder, like pro controllers.
Yes.
Yeah, that would make
imagine.
sense. I mean, like
again, you can just straight up install Windows on it.
Really?
And use it as a PC.
You can install Windows on it? Have you guys checked out the Steam Deck recently? Have you checked out
dude, you look silly like that.
You can actually put Windows on it?
Stop.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. It's like the first actual whatever you call it, mobile console. I mean, the Switch is, but like that's some bitch ass Nintendo stuff.
Well, that's the thing that I'm excited about. Is I'm excited less about the Steam Deck to buy it, and more excited about the fact that now Nintendo has to compete with that. And so Nintendo can pull their heads out of their asses, hurry up with like good games, and like maybe give us an upgrade that's not just the fucking screen.
Right.
Because that drove me nuts. There's like the new Switch model.
Nintendo's kind of drunk with power these days.
Yeah.
They're kind of nuts.
They never sell their first party shit. Like it's always $60. They don't give you finished games a lot of the time. Or they'll like sell you a half a game's worth of content for $60.
What's there to look for in the next 2 years on the Switch? What's coming out? Zelda sequel.
New Metroids. New Breath of the Wild. New Breath of the Wild, I should say.
Breasts of the Wild.
Breasts of the Wild. 2 new Metroids.
That'll be the first time they ever make
a lot of other shit.
A sequel to a Zelda game
directly. Well, maybe it won't be called Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, but it's like the same universe and the same engine, for sure.
I bet they'll give it a cool name.
Oh, so it's gonna be like a
Breasts of the Wild.
It's like a Skyward Sword Breath of the Wild situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's some
Skyward Sword HD is coming out on. They're porting it to Switch.
Yo, for real?
That's coming out soon.
Have I guess you could buy an old Wiimote.
Well, I think you can just. They work
with
fine.
The Nux.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons work.
Whatever you call them.
They work like regular. You can point them at the screen and shit. They work fine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they have like little sensors on the top of them, don't they?
Yeah, and it doesn't check by the TV. It checks by motion. So you usually you press a button to reset it, and then it'll go by motion instead of relative to the screen thing.
Right.
It's available now. It's out right now.
Oh, it's available now.
You can buy it now. It's available now.
Is it $60?
Yeah, it is. So there is that. I thought it was gonna be like 40.
They're lunatics.
Damn it! Yeah,
they're lunatics for that.
Dude. Is there
that would be
$20
on PlayStation if it was a PlayStation game.
Exactly,
it would literally be $20.
Yeah. Let's see. Did they even add anything to it? Master realistic swordplay that corresponds with your movements.
Is it remastered HD?
It is remastered HD. It says Skyward Sword HD is what it is called.
Let me look at this shit.
Looking at it right now. It doesn't look crazy. I mean, it probably would look nice. The screenshots kind of look like shit, but I'm also on a 4K monitor, so there's that.
This looks okay. I mean, it's not like it was a ugly game to begin with.
No, not at all.
They generally make games that exist within the means of their console.
Oh, yeah. Well, because they stylize everything very well. Because they do this thing where they design interesting landscapes and characters and colors and such.
Speaking of that, I asked earlier, and we didn't talk about it, but I've only seen the first 2 episodes of the new Rick and Morty season, but they've both been pretty foyer so far, I've thought. You said there's 5 that have been out?
There's 3 out, but the guy whose Plex server I watch shit on has 2 extra ones on it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so neat. I'm tapped in, bro. I'm like,
wait, Plex this server?
I'm tapped in, bro. I'm in the.
Yeah, you don't know about those?
I'm in on it.
No.
Yeah, no, it's just a media server. So it's like if you host a bunch of videos and files and it doesn't check for where you get them, but it's like for archival of digital shit. I don't know how it's particularly legal, but then you just host your own server and then you can give people access to it. So I just log in to the app on my TV and then I have access to his server, which has a bunch of shit on it. He always is updating it.
That's sick.
That's really beast. I think I remember
really tight.
That he has 2 Rick and Morty episodes that have not come out yet.
Yes.
This is insane.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They must have leaked somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, this second episode was sick with all the decoys.
Oh, yeah.
And how it kept being decoys. And I mean, it was like a Matrix kind of thing.
Oh, I haven't seen the newest 2. I've only seen the 1. I haven't really caught up.
I found episode 2 pretty easy. I use Put Locker or whatever. It was watch Rick and Morty season 5 episode 2 Put Locker.
Just talking about
just pirate it. Just steal it.
I watched it for free, actually.
Dude, Cartoon Network must be paying them $1 billion because who has cable and has Cartoon Network on their no one our age that I know would have that, Mm-hmm. You'd have Hulu and Netflix and HBO.
Yeah,
and
that's
Disney
long gone by now, isn't it? Really, having cable that's an anomaly.
That's the only way you can fucking watch it. Or they're sign in. You're go to CartoonNetwork.com and sign in with your cable provider. So it's
get off cones.
Yeah,
it's no.
My aunt still has DirecTV, and I'm like, why?
Well, so season 5 is going to be on HBO Max, but it's like not
yet
as it comes out. It's going to be put on there later.
Mm. Is that the pod race they got? Yeah, it's almost the pod race, right?
But seasons 1 through 4 are on HBO. But yeah, it's been a good season so far. Really liked it.
It's getting really meta.
Yeah,
but it is pretty good.
I just saw Black Widow last night. It was okay.
Yeah,
it had some really good action and stuff. They really kind of like botched the Taskmaster. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's a badass villain that can like.
He's in fucking Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, he can mimic anything that he sees. So like, he sees Spider-Man do some crazy shit, then he can just do that, with that type of shit. Yeah, but they kind of like made it a completely different character that just looked and had the same powers as Taskmaster. So it's like, just make a new fucking character. Like, they gender swap and like do all this shit, and it's like, they're like, all they care about is the name and the power set, and it's like, fuck, decades of source material,
right?
Fuck, and it's not like people that don't read the comics would know the difference. So all they're doing is pissing off. I mean, it doesn't like it pissed me off, but I do think it's dumb.
I love the original design. It's sick. Anything the Avengers can do, I can do better. Introducing the treacherous Taskmaster.
Yeah, he's a badass villain. Like they pretty much like ruined. Like they destroyed the character because like that character probably won't be in future movies based on what happened. And I'm like, wow, that was a super badass villain that they just kind of like.
Yeah, the movie one looks so stupid. It barely looks like him.
Yeah, it
like
looks
I see what they're going for. They're going for like the CIA, like operative, like special ops gear vibe.
It looks too much like an action figure, though.
Looks like fucking Black Panther with the claws.
Yeah, I don't know why he had claws. It was weird, but I mean, he was badass in the movie. Like the fight scenes were all like, okay. So the movie was actually a breath of fresh air because I just finished watching Loki, and that show was not good. Like it was, it was like beyond just like the writing or whatever like that. Like the filmmaking aspect of it was just bad. Like the fight scenes were all terrible. The like 75% of the show like took place in this like. The TVA, which is like sort of a Hitchhiker's Guide, like aesthetic, Men in Black aesthetic headquarters kind of that they're in. And there's like just a bunch of different rooms in there, like jail cells or offices or whatever. And like 75% of the show is them just like sitting and talking in those. And they kind of like advertise the show as like Loki going throughout time and like fucking being a time traveling, like, agent or something like that. And it was just like not that at all.
Yeah, it's like there's a bunch of different Lokis, isn't that the thing?
Barely, not even like it was pretty much like there's one other Loki. It's a female variant of Loki, and it's basically Loki like following her around the whole time, and then also like admitting that he's like a loser, pretty much. Like that's the show like summed up. He's like, oh damn, all the shit because it takes place right after Avengers when he literally killed like. Probably thousands and thousands of people in New York.
Millions.
From an alien invasion. Yeah. And this happens right after he gets that cube in Endgame.
I know, it's the cube, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Oh, they kind of wasted it, huh? They could have been a really cool diversion.
In the very first episode, he's like... Owen Wilson is like, wow, you're a loser. And then he shows Loki like what happens in his life up through Endgame when he gets killed. But obviously that didn't happen to this one, but he basically admits he's like, I inspire fear cause I'm, afraid myself or whatever bullshit, and people are like, oh, it's character development. But really all it did was like, just make him just like, so it's like, okay, what is he, a good guy now? Like everything interesting about him is just, summed up in like, oh, I'm just a loser actually.
Oh,
and that's it.
Just a loser.
So they kind of destroyed his character.
He like, didn't he kind of redeemed himself, but didn't at the end of Endgame, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he
tried to kill
himself for Thor, and
right.
They worked together in Ragnarok too. Though I haven't seen that in a while, but so that's all one issue. Then the other issue is they basically just fucking nerf him. He has trouble like fighting off like human guards. And I don't know if you probably don't remember, but like in Avengers, he was fighting Thor like one-on-one. Right. And Thor had his fucking hammer. Like he was duking it out with Thor on top of a tower. And then in this show, he's like struggling to fight off 2 guards, and he has to like ask female Loki for help. And she'll like toss him a sword, and she'll take care of her guards like hand to hand. But him, he's like, oh, like, you know, like, and he's like, what is this? Like,
what is going on?
And it was just it was like CW level like fight scenes, you know, like Flash or whatever, like in all those shows.
Bro, I can't with these Marvel shows. WandaVision was good, but it's because WandaVision was tight because that scene where fucking Vision fights another Vision
and talks
that the
to
military
himself,
made. Yeah, like that's one of the cooler things that's ever been in a Marvel movie, honestly.
I agree. I don't like they stumbled on the landing a little bit, just kind of like with how goofy the witch looked, and like this is another huge problem. You remember the witch, Agatha, like the bad guy from WandaVision. The bad guy in Loki shows up at the end too, and they write them in this way that I like to compare it to like how they would write villains in like Supernatural or whatever, like demons in that show, where they're like super witty and like eccentric, and they're like, you know, like the guy in Loki, he's like nothing you did was your choice. I created the path, and you walk down. I'm like, oh my
like
God.
when Jesse Eisenberg is playing a villain, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's like that, but even I don't know. No, I'm probably not worse. That was fucking weird as shit. But like, yeah, that's basically like the prime example of it, to be honest. Him as Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
he's so quirky.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just been done a million times. It's like, like Heath Ledger killed that. Heath Ledger watermark. Like, you're never gonna get eccentric, weird, kooky, crazy villain nailed ever again. I'm sorry, that Joker's
it's like
too good.
A way watered down version of that. Like them trying to be like eccentric and weird and like a quirky villain, like Agatha was like, only the witch who casts the runes can make cast her spell. You should, you know.
Only the witch with the biggest
runes like, on the walls.
It's like, bro, this is a witch from the Salem witch trials that like is like basically a demented soul. Like she should be fucking scary and like
she should be uttering like yes, exactly. She should be uttering like fucking like satanic shit and like
it's
fucking,
like Halloween Town. You know? And it just is like.
That's the thing that Marvel doesn't fucking do is like it doesn't form the vibe of the movie around the individual Avenger. They make every Avengers and Iron Man and every runoff movie feel the same, which is a mistake. Yeah. You don't need them to all feel the same to have them come together and for it to feel cohesive. Like the comics already fucking did that. Like you read a Batman comic, it's not going to feel the same as a Superman comic.
Yeah, definitely. And like, so Black Widow actually started out way different because it started out with her as like a kid, and it was like probably like a 15, maybe 20-minute sort of intro thing. And it ended with like a fucking like female sung piano ballad of Smells Like Teen Spirit that like went on forever while the credits were playing at the beginning. That was super weird. And then it's like 21 years later, and it takes place after Civil War. And that's like the rest of the movie.
Can people just leave Nirvana alone?
Yeah,
can we just like, leave it to just be Nirvana?
Hello.
Yeah, no, just let Nirvana be the band Nirvana.
Bro, I just like
I was like, literally played the whole song too. And it's obviously at like a 1.5 or like a 0.5 times speed because it's like a slow piano ballad of that. So
this
it's like
Smells Like Teen Spirit slowed in reverb.
Yeah,
like, that's not the choice. It was it was like better than Black Panther though. I thought it was better than Guardians 2. I'm trying to think of other ones. It was just like a middle of the road one. Certainly not you know, like I fucking hated Guardians 2. I hated Iron Man 3.
I don't hate Guardians 2.
I need
the
to rewatch
humor
it.
is a little too much. Like the beginning where it's like, oh my God, this comedic action fight sequence that's crazy and Groot's in the foreground the whole time. And you have pop music during a violent scene. Who's ever come up with that ever? And it's like 2017. It's like,
well, there was like a part where they're like a bad guy. He's like, my name's Taserface. And they like laugh at that for a long time and like bring it up like two or three times. And I'm like,
you're right.
One, like Taser is a brand like from Earth. So it's just like, why would a guy be named Taserface?
Jokes that are just repeating the same thing and insisting that it's funny are some of the most cancerous things in the world, honestly.
Yeah. And there was shit like that. And there was like, what was the other one? It was like one where Drax is like standing still. Or I don't know if that was in Endgame actually. Maybe I'm thinking of that. Or
I think it was in
but it was in that one first.
I think it was in Infinity War actually, maybe.
Yeah, no, it was because
they all feel the same. This is what I'm saying. You have no idea because the scene plays out the same. I feel like that was in Infinity War because it definitely is because because he fucking is like talking to her about you have to kill me if if Thanos gets me.
Yeah. Oh right.
And then Drax is just standing there
eating chips. Like that was funny, but like it also is like.
But it's just
takes you out of the. You're like nothing serious is happening.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of pulls me out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Infinity War, I really didn't like when I first saw it. I like it now because of the sort of drama of it at the end, how it does get kind of serious. But I got mad at it when I first saw it because I was just like, this is a clunky fucking mess. But the way it climaxes, I do really like that. The way Thanos just gets the glove and just starts going to fucking town. Like,
no, it's like I'll rip those two movies back to back once a year.
Exactly. I like those movies because of the villain of Thanos. That's why I like it.
He actually has like the most screen time out of any character too, and that's like a lesson. You know, I mean, he's like pretty much him and formerly Loki are like the only two sort of memorable Marvel villains. I mean, Hugo Weaving as Red Skull was cool,
but
like,
that was just for Captain America.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think of other ones like.
There's really not any other memorable ones.
Ultron was all right, but like the movie itself wasn't my favorite, so I don't. Yeah,
Ultron's annoying. That movie sucks, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's my lead. One of my.
It's like the Attack of the Clones of fucking Avengers. Because it's like, oh my God, the character that was introduced to this movie died.
Right.
Not the fast guy. It was like, whatever.
Yeah, as a cop out, writing him out. Wasted him.
I got to get going, fellas, but if you guys want to keep going, go for it.
Oh, shot.
But,
what do you want to do, Connor? Damn, it's already 11:30.
Oh, let's just end this bitch. We got more to talk about next episode.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe on the YouTube if you're listening, or follow on the Spotify.
Tuber.
We appreciate it. All love, guys. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, good epi. Good epi.
Welcome, Boke motherfuckers. Peace.
Bye.